How does the US F-15 load hundreds of deadly 20mm rounds? Imagine a fighter jet racing through the sky at incredible speed, carrying missiles, bombs, and advanced electronic systems. But hidden inside this powerful aircraft is another weapon that has remained an important part of the F-15 for decades. A 20mm automatic cannon. And what makes it even more impressive is the sheer amount of ammunition the aircraft can carry for that weapon. So how are hundreds of 20mm rounds loaded into an F-15? And why does a process that looks simple actually require extreme precision? This is what happens behind the scenes before a US F-15 is ready for a mission. The F-15 Eagle is one of the most famous fighter aircraft ever developed by the United States. Since entering service in the 1970s, the aircraft was designed primarily to achieve air superiority. But alongside its air-to-air missiles, the F-15 also carries an internal cannon. That weapon is the M61 Vulcan, a 20mm six-barrel rotary cannon. The M61 is capable of producing an extremely high volume of fire in a very short period of time. Depending on the F-15 variant and configuration, the aircraft can carry roughly 940 rounds of 20mm ammunition for the cannon. That means before an F-15 even leaves the runway, hundreds of rounds have to be properly loaded into its internal ammunition system, and every step has to be performed carefully. This is where weapons technicians come in. The ammunition isn't simply picked up and pushed into the aircraft. Technicians must make sure the correct ammunition is being used, inspect the ammunition and associated components, and ensure that the loading system is functioning properly. A small mistake could create a serious problem once the aircraft is airborne. That's why weapons loading follows highly structured procedures. At some facilities, specialized ammunition loading equipment can also be used to make the process faster and more efficient. One example is the Universal Ammunition Loading System, or UALS. Systems like this are designed to help weapons crews handle and load large quantities of ammunition more efficiently than relying entirely on manual handling. So what makes this process so impressive? The answer is the sheer number of rounds involved. Imagine nearly 1,000 20mm rounds being loaded into the aircraft's internal ammunition system. The ammunition has to be positioned correctly so it can move smoothly toward the cannon when needed. Technicians also have to ensure that the ammunition path and feed mechanism are properly aligned. Nothing can interfere with the movement of the rounds. Because when the M61 begins firing, the system must be able to deliver ammunition quickly and consistently. The M61 Vulcan itself is one of the most famous aircraft weapons in American military history. Its 6 barrels rotate as the weapon operates. When activated, the barrels spin and fire the ammunition sequentially. The 6-barrel design provides an important advantage. Heat and wear can be distributed across multiple barrels while allowing the weapon to achieve an extremely high rate of fire. Depending on its configuration, the M61 can reach a rate of around 6,000 rounds per minute. That means, theoretically, around 100 rounds could be fired every second at maximum rate. Of course, pilots don't normally hold the trigger continuously. In an engagement, the cannon can be fired in short bursts to conserve ammunition and improve control. Interestingly, the 20mm cannon isn't simply a backup weapon. In a close-range aerial engagement, when a fighter has the correct firing opportunity, the cannon can become extremely important. Missiles provide the ability to engage targets at greater distances. But when the distance becomes extremely close, a cannon offers something different. The pilot doesn't have to wait for a missile to launch. If the target is within the appropriate firing parameters, the cannon can be used immediately. That's one reason why internal cannons have remained part of many modern fighter aircraft. But before the weapon can be used, everything has to be checked. Weapons technicians follow strict safety procedures. They must ensure the ammunition is appropriate, the weapon system is properly configured, and the ammunition feed path is free from problems. Once loading is complete, another inspection becomes just as important. The aircraft doesn't simply have to look ready. It has to actually be ready. And there's another part of the process that viewers rarely see. An F-15 doesn't carry only a cannon. Depending on the aircraft variant and mission, it can carry different combinations of external weapons. That means weapons crews have to prepare the entire aircraft before it takes off. Missiles, bombs, external fuel tanks, and of course ammunition for the internal cannon. Everything has to be